Well, my purpose is to help people flourish and to kind of live to their fullest potential into their uniqueness. So when I was reflecting on this about maybe about 12 years ago, I had a personal coach who helped me. My goal of the personal coach was to have me get more stuff done. Her goal was to say, no, you got to figure out who you are. And so from that, I kind of created this thing that said my goal is to help other people flourish to their fullest potential. And then I've been trying various ways of making that happen through my skills and then mashing them up. I like to DJ on the side, so I use a mashup metaphor to try and test different things to see if I can help more people flourish. Complexity is a little bit harder because you don't think about it so much, but like damn humans, they have free will. So even if you're, doing economics, you hope that there's some ideal way of people are going to behave, and they don't. And so that's complex. And why don't they? Well, there's lots of reasons for that. So an example of work that I did a while ago was around poverty and understanding in our area how to reduce poverty. And one of the things we realized is that people needed to have living wage jobs, not surprisingly, to get out of poverty. So do we have any of those in the area? And we're like, we have thousands of living wage jobs that are open. And this was pre-COVID. Do we have anybody who doesn't have a job? We have thousands of people who don't have jobs. Why don't we just take the people and put them in the job, take a person? It wouldn't be so easy, if it was a very simple problem. You just put, if you were, I guess, in communism, you just tell people go work because it's a controlled environment or an autocracy, and you can just do it, right? Go to the, if you're Russian, go to the front. You have been conscripted, right? So even then, right, they're having a hard time managing, Russia is managing the people they've conscripted to do what they want them to do. So, so we were looking at matching individuals to jobs, and we're like, let's hold a job fair. We could find the people that don't have jobs. We could find the companies that do. So we went work with the company and said, let's do a job fair. And so we worked with a local nonprofit that had people that were looking for jobs. We had this company that did it. And so we set up this job fair, and 15 people said they were going to go to the job fair. Job fair happens. Nobody shows up. We're like, what's going on here? Nobody showed up. They agreed to show up. Of course, they're going to fulfill their reliable commitments to show up to a job fair. And so we said, okay, let's call every one of those people. Now, what happened? Why? Okay, one was transportation. I couldn't get there. I didn't have it. But most of them were like, this is scary. I've never been to a job fair, and this is for a manufacturing company that's like Fern Gully. It's going to like chomp and eat me up and spit me out, and I'm going to work like the jungle and from the meat packing industry of 1910. And I'm sure they weren't thinking that, but I don't know. It's scary. I don't have a resume. I don't even know how to dress. And so what we found is, people have trauma. The main reason they don't have a job isn't because they can't find one. The main reason they don't have a job is because they have lots of barriers to really integrating into the system. So we said, let's run another experiment. We shared that experiment with a bunch of different businesses so they don't just run fruitless job fairs for people. So we said, we need what we call a handler. So now we have a handler that, we call it, but a person who knows the people that are going to go to the job fair, that they trust, they feel comfortable with, and they brought them over to run another job fair. Like half the people come to the job fair. Great. But they still are trying to do their resume. They have a formal presentation, and they have this like, wait a minute, that still is like corporate. And that's not necessarily meeting the trauma-informed needs of the people. So the next thing was, we're going to run them on a tour. You don't need to bring a resume, but you can fill out an application. By the way, if you like it, we'll give you a job today if we think there's a fit. Completely change that. Now, other companies learn from that. They can do the same thing. And so we end up getting more people on there. So a success was a person got a job through this process. And then 90 days later, they're going to go get their benefits, right? And it's a young person, first time they've had a job where they get benefits. And so they come up with the benefits like, I don't need benefits. My parents have benefits. Why do I have to get benefits? I'm going to decline the benefits. So they decline the benefits. not realizing that their parents had benefits because no one works in the house. And now that they work in the house, they're going to lose their benefits from the person who just got the job that just declined the benefits that they wanted. So we realized, we need to make sure that we have a very specific training package when people are about to get benefits so they understand the implications of what they're doing. And then every other company in the area could also learn from that. And now we rise, like you said, all boats higher because we're running iterative experiments over and over into a group of people who care about solving a problem so that they can change the patterns that might be pervasive because we're running from an old paradigm.
That's such a fabulous example. And that curiosity that you have to dive a little bit deeper and follow up and ask not one question, not two questions, but 3-4 questions and try 3 or 4 iterations is why the thing works, right? You have to really sort of dig deeper to really sort of understand the complexity of these problems. And anybody that does, I think, that knows design thinking or does, lean design or these other sort of like conceptual pieces and is able to sort of apply them in different pieces. I think that's a really sort of awesome learning takeaway. I know you've got sort of short time today, because I know you're always sort of running to different places, but where can people learn more about you, learn more about different pieces that you're doing, and maybe learn more about the work that you're doing in generativity and community work?
Yeah, you could go to genlocal.org, GEN, local, generativelocal.org. That's a website that has some of this information there. Also on YouTube, there's a Generative Local Community Institute channel. So you can go to that channel. And that, interestingly enough, that channel has videos from something called Skills Fest, where we basically were convening people at Lawrence University for a few years to think about this space. The videos are totally like lo-fi. So I'm not as good as Mike O'Connor's studio type of work, but just it gives content. And the point is, we want to get more content out there. There's also this Generative Local Community video on YouTube that's on that channel that is recent, and that's what we're looking at taking to communities to see if this is a solution that can help people flourish better together by running a generative local business network in their community, kind of run as a cooperative.
Awesome.
So those are some of the places you can reach. Jason at genlocal.org. That's also a way to communicate with me.
Awesome. And I'll make sure to link to all those places. Jason, thanks so much for your time.
Hey, thank you. It was a pleasure. And I really appreciate what you do, Mike, and how you're helping the world flourish as well. Thanks for what you do to make the world extraordinary.
Trying, my friend. Trying. Thank you.